Welcome to The Explainer. You ever feel just completely swamped by the world? Like you're up against something way too big? Well, today, we're diving into a single verse from the Christian Bible that offers a really interesting way to think about that pressure. Our guide is a sermon manuscript from India, and trust me, it unpacks this idea in a way you might not expect. Let's get into it.
So let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we all know. That feeling of being pushed around by systems, by expectations, by things that are just bigger than you. It's that sense of being a small cog in some giant machine, right? Where you feel hemmed in, misunderstood, or just plain powerless.
And here it is. This is the verse at the very heart of our explainer today. Now, the source material we're digging into, it doesn't treat this like some motivational poster quote. No, it presents this as a kind of spiritual law, a principle that's specifically designed to go up against that overwhelming feeling we were just talking about.
Okay, so to really get the solution that's being offered here, we first have to get a handle on the problem. So what exactly is this world that we're supposed to be overcoming?
First thing the text does is get super specific. The original Greek word used here is cosmos, and it's really important to get this. It doesn't mean the planet, or nature, or just people in general. It's pointing to a very specific, organized system, a whole network of values and pressures that is actively working against a different way of living.
So what does this world system actually look like? Well, according to our source, it's not some far-off, abstract evil. It's the stuff we swim in every day. It's the value system that screams money is everything. It's that social pressure that tells you, hey, just adjust, compromise, keep your head down. It's our own internal desires, pride, fear, the whole shebang.
And the source boils down how this system operates into a two-pronged attack. It's pretty brilliant, actually. It either pulls you from the inside through seduction, temptation, greed, pride, or it pushes you from the outside through intimidation, using things like fear, shame, or ridicule. A pull from within or a push from without.
Okay, so we've laid out the conflict, but what about the victory? How does the source define that? Because as you're about to see, it is probably not what you're thinking.
Once again, we go back to the original Greek for a huge clue. The word for overcome is nikao, and according to this manuscript, this isn't about just barely surviving or hanging on by a thread. Nope. This word implies an active conquest, a real win.
And this is where things get really interesting. The source completely reframes what winning even means. See, the world defines victory by stuff on the outside, popularity, success, a life with no problems. But in this spiritual framework, victory is all about your internal character. It's about maintaining things like faithfulness, endurance, love, and courage, especially when the pressure is on. It's a total flip.
So how in the world is that kind of victory even possible? Well, according to the text, it's not something you achieve, it's something that flows from a fundamental shift in your identity, what the verse calls being born of God.
The Greek word here is genao. It means to be begotten or generated. The manuscript uses this powerful idea. It's like your spiritual source code has been changed. Your very origin, your spiritual DNA, has been fundamentally rewritten.
Now, the source is really quick to say what this doesn't mean. It's not about which church you go to, or if you grew up in a Christian home, or even just trying really, really hard to be a good person. It's presented as something much deeper, a core, internal transformation that gives you a new nature, a new birthright.
And to make this really simple, the sermon uses a great little analogy. A mango seed will always grow into a mango tree. Why? Because that's its nature. The point is, you don't overcome the world just by trying harder. You overcome because you're now operating from a completely new, God-given nature. It's who you are.
Okay, so if this new identity is the foundation, what's the tool you use? The source presents faith as the active mechanism, the thing that actually makes this victory happen.
But again, what is faith in this context? The source argues it is absolutely not a feeling. It's not about being emotionally pumped up or thinking positive thoughts. It's framed as a calm, deliberate, conscious decision to trust and rely on God, especially when your feelings and your circumstances are screaming at you to do the exact opposite.
The source then breaks this down into a practical three-part rhythm. It says active faith is always doing three things. It's looking back to Christ's example, it's listening in the present to God's word, and it's stepping forward to obey what the Spirit is prompting. You see how that makes faith a dynamic action, not just a passive belief?
So let's bring it all home. What's the final takeaway? What does this actually look like for a person trying to navigate a really high-pressure world?
So what does this victory look like day to day? The source says it's primarily an internal state. It means that even when the storm is raging around you and you can't change a thing externally, you win by not letting the pressure change you internally. You win when you refuse to let it make you bitter or fearful or compromised. You hold on to your integrity, your love, your courage. That's the victory.
And this whole explainer really leaves us with a powerful challenge, pulled right from the text. When you face all this pressure, what's your starting point? Are you fighting from a place of your own limited strength and all your weaknesses? Or are you fighting from this new identity the source describes?
And that really is the question at the heart of it all. It pushes us toward a fundamental shift in perspective. Are we seeing victory as some far-off event we have to struggle to achieve one day? Or is it an identity that we can start living from right here, right now?